Hey, welcome back to Cincy Games, and I'm still working on the Rainforest Zoo, which now has a name: Lush Latitude Sanctuary and Zoo. So basically, this is what I did. I laid out a sandbox and started a new one so that I could kind of lay out the way I wanted the zoo to go because I sketched it out on paper, but I'm not going to show you that part. I'll show you like a picture at the end where I was writing crazy on some stuff. Anyway, so I named this sandbox the Tropical Zoo Planning. It was supposed to have a G, but I talk like that anyway. I would say planning and not planning. So there you go. So I made it the Tropical South America biome. So this is what it looked like when I first um, opened this one up. And I didn't realize that it was going to be long and narrow. But that's what it is. It's on a mountain, which is kind of good. Kind of good. So basically, I'm just gonna speed it up where I started going through laying out things because that took me a while and nobody wants to sit here through that whole thing. It took me a while and I paused a lot because I had to look at my little, pencil and paper drawing. So at this point, what I'm doing is putting out my 1,000 square meter and 400 square meter um, blueprints that I made because all of my habitats are going to be on one or the other of those sides or pretty close to it. And then I laid out 8 exhibits, which I'm actually going to need 10, no, 11, but it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to get an idea of what I want it to look like. Because the overall idea for Lush Latitudes is that you are going to start at a bottom level of the zoo at the bottom of the mountain and kind of work your way up the mountain to the very back where we're supposed to end with like the mandrills, right? So that's the idea. But I have really bad spatial sense, I guess you would call it. So you could say 400 square meters. I don't know what that looks like. You could say walk 20 meters east. I don't know how far that is. Like, I can't eyeball it. I'm so bad. Which is why I did this little sandbox zoo. So, the general idea is that I'm going to have some reptiles, water reptiles, in those 3 habitats that you see in those boxes laid out to the left. And then my exhibits are going to be, of course, like insects and the boa constrictor and stuff like that. And I want to build like a pavilion to put the insects in. So we'll see how that turns out. I figure I just need to get the layout. We'll work out details as we go. So I was using the terrain stamp tool because I need the zoo going back up toward the back where the mountain goes up to be in basically 4 separate sections. So this is me trying to build kind of a land barrier so that I can lay out the different sections. And what I noticed as I went along with this and worked on it was that my habitats aren't going to need that much room. I probably won't go all the way to the back and up the mountain to where the end is of the boundary for the zoo and Planet Zoo, because those habitats, I mean, you see how much room I have now. I say that, but I also have to add paths and foliage and all that kind of stuff. And what I really want to do is create like the Jeep safari ride that goes kind of snakes along. See what I did there? I'm doing a tropical rainforest. That kind of goes along or snakes along around some of the habitats and starts at the bottom of the mountain and goes up. So I do want to put in a ride. And I saw in some other videos when I was watching other creators, they were saying, if you're going to put in a ride, you need to map that out because once your stuff is set, it's hard to get the pass for the rides in. So obviously Planet Zoo, I mean, unless you're going to play in franchise mode or something and just set stuff up. But I'm trying to be creative. I want to learn the building side first, like I said in my other video. But it does take planning. But for me, that's part of the joy because I love to plan things. And sometimes I over plan and I get stuck and I procrastinate. So this is me not procrastinating because this video wasn't even going to come out because I needed to edit it. And I was like, well, let me wait. So I've worked on my zoo since then, but I have recorded the footage. So I'm going to try to do speed edits. This one I'm just doing a voiceover to kind of tell you what I'm doing in the video. But a lot of the speed edits where I'm going to be decorating and doing stuff, I probably won't talk through it. I'll introduce it. I'll play some music while I speed edit. And then I might say something at the end. That's probably how that's going to work because that's usually my MO when I'm doing videos. Anyway, so on that second level that you see that I've made, where I have the 2 single boxes and then the small box and then 3 on the side, basically on the right, I wanted it to be giant sea otters. And then move into a place that has the, I'm not going to say this right, the cassowary and the peccary, cassowary and the peccary. I don't know. It's a bird and something else. I don't know. But I want to put them in, and then I wanted to put the pangolins. And then on the far left, it was going to be buffalo and the tapir and okapi. No, I'm not saying these right, but just bear with me. It's my first time owning a zoo. Okay. So anyway, and then this third level that you're seeing is going to have the lemurs. It's going to have some walkthrough exhibits that you see, and that's where the sloths, the Malabar rose butterfly, the flying fox, we're going to put them in. We're also going to have the siamang, and the largibbon monkeys. And then when you go into that last section that I'm mapping out, back there, that's where I'm gonna have like the bigger apes and monkeys, like the gorillas, the orangutans, the chimpanzee, and then of course at the very, very top in the back, the last thing will be the mandrills up there. So that's kind of what I'm trying to map out in the sandbox. I just wanted to see before I actually started building and like detailing things, is it gonna fit? Is it gonna work? Like there you can see the whole idea of the layout. So that's what Lush Latitudes Sanctuary and Zoo is going to kind of look like. Of course it's going to change. Of course I'm going to change my mind about where things are going to go, but that's the general idea, like my first idea of what I want to do. I'll show you the picture that I did and marked it up. Isn't that beautiful? Anyway, that's the idea. And so I just wanted to do that really quick as an introduction because now I'm going to start putting up my speed edits and all that kind of stuff. So thanks for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you like the video, and I would love for you to subscribe to my channel as I go on this Rainforest Zoo journey. And we'll see what happens. Also, if you're on Twitch, sometimes I live stream on Twitch, and then I'll probably upload it here as a speed edit. But yeah, so check that out as well, and I will see you guys on the next one. Okay, bye.